Good day. It is, and I don't know if this is going to be, it's right out of a Seinfeld episode. Alice Shattuck wearing the same outfit 2 days in a row.
No, it's not
Yes,
2 days in a row.
Alice,
we recorded the episode this morning,
Alice,
and we said that in this morning's episode.
With
These
the
are
viewers
recorded in the same
That is incorrect.
day.
No,
Yes.
I'm not wearing yesterday's clothes. I'm
not wearing yesterday's
have
clothes
enough
either.
respect
I'm
for
wearing
you.
today's clothes that I put on right
you know
before
what
we
you
did the
should do?
podcast this morning.
At least if you're going to wear the same thing else, just say you have two of those. So my question for you is this.
I didn't wear this yesterday. A lot of people saw me yesterday, and I was not wearing this.
My question for you is this, Alice. Will you be wearing the same thing again tomorrow?
No.
And I don't mind. If you have like a uniform like you did when you were working at Home Depot, if you have a little uniform that you wear, and that's it, you look pretty in pink.
Maybe I should bust down my orange polyester polo shirts again, and then,
I didn't. Oh, actually, your hips look nice in the Home Depot pants. Those are nice hip hugging. Those are good for you.
Oh yeah, I got some nice like cargo pants when I worked at
and
Home Depot.
Those before your awakened body too. Were you?
Yeah, although I was more physically active then than I was working from home.
Because when there was a time you were like not hot body wise.
Like,
it was like last year, right before Awaken.
Most of 2022, I would say, yeah.
Okay, right before Awaken.
Because I got a more sedentary job. I need one of those treadmill desks. Well, I mean, don't take a sip when I'm saying something. I
don't know that I need more treadmill desks. I'm going to need more means that you're going to absolutely wait. Like, if I didn't, usually you'd tell me you need a treadmill desk, and then needlessly feel the need to inform me with 20,000.
Are you angry with me about something?
20,000 words why that is, and I'd just like, why are you telling me this? You just get a treadmill desk. You don't have to. Well, because I think that maybe I could get some exercise.
Am I in trouble over something with you? I don't really understand why I'm being yelled at.
Because you jarred
a
memory for me. I didn't tell you about that 2 days ago when I was in the pool with the boys in Connecticut.
So you're mad at me about something that happened 2 days ago that you forgot about?
Jarred a memory.
Okay.
2 days ago, for me, that's 2 outfit changes ago. For you, that's 1.
It's not true.
So
I wore different
that is
outfits
Alice.
every day.
Alice, this is just getting sad.
We recorded 2
This is getting sad.
episodes today.
If you're, what number episode is this? 834.
This is 837.
If you're
this morning's episode was 836.
Do yourselves a favor. Go from 836 to 838, then back to 837. So at least looks like Alice has given you enough regard to change. Okay, so but you do look good. I'm wearing I stand with Rand shirt.
That's good. I like Rand Paul.
Yeah. But anyway, but it's a little bit tighter in my primary role section, which reminds me, I'm jumping right back in the Awaken stuff. Like right now, I've got to be down there in 2 weeks. And I just think that I've had like a couple of I've been drinking beer.
You know the way.
I know the way, and I started today, as a matter of fact. I restarted.
I did too. I actually ate very healthy today, and it made me happy.
I couldn't feed you. Did you have a cucumbber?
Protein things. I did not have a cucumber.
We do have those. I try to cut those. Today was just too hectic.
But I had a lot of yummy things today. Cheese and.
So we'll listen to this nightmare scenario.
This was in the pool.
In the pool
on Saturday.
Yes, on
okay.
on Saturday as we're leaving. And so essentially, Alice was inside cleaning the rest of the room, and my job is to take the 2 little ones to the pool one last time before we left. Where I saw Alice had signed in the day before, and I made a little heart because I'm sentimental and sent it to you. Which was lovely, right?
Yeah.
So listen to this. So I go to the pool.
As I lovingly scrubbed all the grass off your Crocs in the room.
Yes. By the way, I took that picture for Tim and Canton on my Twitter to show my Crocs and what real men do. Because I mowed the lawn with those babies, and so they were filled with green grass. So here's the thing, Alice. So I go, and there's a group of mostly some older, middle to late, 60s and up women over on. It's about 7 of them on one end of the pool.
Okay.
Then with them is one woman who's about 35 maybe, and really attractive, and like kind of a killer bikini body. I didn't know about her until later. But so listen to this. So I'm on my end of the pool with the two boys. I take my shirt off. Just have my bathing suit on, which is a ridiculously absurd bathing suit. It's like a Star Spangled Banner.
USA flag.
It's so it's absurd, but fine. So, and me and the boys jump in the pool, and we're swimming around there, etc., etc., etc. Then, like 5 minutes into it, I do some swimming and talking. I was talking to them across the pool, saying, "Hey guys, make sure you don't yell, make sure you don't splash. Let me use a quiet voice, because these ladies are just talking about amongst themselves, and I don't want the shaddocks to destroy the piece as usual." So then I go back to the shallow end with the boys, and we're just shooting the breeze. The ladies start coming over in a group. We're where the stairs are, so they start coming over, and I had noticed them noticing me talking to the boys, like looking over and talking to me. So I'm about to wrap it up, and they come over, and they're sitting by the stairs talking with themselves. You know, they're sitting kind of like in the stairs, their feet dangling in the water. One or two of them like goes in the water, including the attractive one now is sitting on the stairs, the 35-year-old.
Okay.
And it occurred to me, my neck is the only thing above water right now. So I have this horrible feeling. I know that you're waiting for me in the room so that I can grab you and we can like officially leave the hotel. I was just taking the kids for a dip. Now, nightmare scenario is I have this nightmare scenario that, oh my goodness, they recognize my voice. And they're making a thing about it and kind of coming closer to hang out, recognizing my voice. And I'm waiting. I could you see the feelings. Sometimes when somebody recognizes your voice, they're like, forgive me, you sound like whatever. It doesn't happen often, but it has happened, right?
And Connecticut would be the place for it to happen.
Would be where it would happen, especially just my voice, because I'm not on any video in Connecticut, but whatever. But then I think, wait, if they recognize me and they're about to open and want to talk and shoot the breeze, etc., the hot one's with them.
Oh.
And that means
that you can talk to the hot girl.
No, Alice, this is
You'll look like a celebrity in front of the hot girl.
Alice, you're not seeing this. The hot one's with him.
Okay.
You're not seeing this. Is not a good story.
Okay, I don't understand.
If the hot one then is talking, and they're all talking to me, and they know who I am, and she wants to talk,
she'll know you're married?
No, Alice.
What?
No, more important than that. What's the most horrific thing I could be doing in front of the hot one?
Being shirtless?
Yes! So I am in the shallow section with the water only to my neck. I could be standing up. I'm obviously not standing up. And I am hostage as long as they want, if they start talking to me. And I was thinking, it could be 10 minutes, 15 minutes. Are you Tom Shattuck? Are you 25 minutes? And then if she gets in on it, 30 minutes, 40 minutes, 1 hour, 2 hours, 3 hours.
And you just have to crouch there in the water.
I just got to crouch until they just simply are exhausted of questions or have nothing more to say or they have lives to get back to. And I am defenseless. This is a brilliant rubric trap here. And I am snared in this thing. Because I can't go anywhere, especially if she's attractive. It's like breaking news how disgusting my body is in their lives. It's like,
I don't think so.
And so, like, I was saying, please, okay. And they were very close. It could literally be, Alice, that they could, because they have beers there at the hotel we were at, they could just start ordering drinks. Getting louder, more gregarious, more, friendly, like with me, whatever. And I've got to stand there, a prisoner, in the shallow end. I don't even know what I do. What I could do is somehow have the boys like light a small fire somewhere in the like pool shed or something, or I don't know, or have the boys like find a.
So why are you mad at me?
So anyway, that nightmare scenario came because also you're flighty. I could have a marching band march through our house while you're eating M&Ms. You would not notice. It's ridiculous. This has been something completely forever. Like, I have stolen things from you and been so bored at you not noticing that I've returned it. You've never known.
Okay.
So you would have sat in our hotel room, just doing your thing, making the noises you make.
Ice cream. Ice cream.
And I would have been outside. What is wrong with you? I would have been outside, captive. Meanwhile, as the sun makes its way across the sky.
So you're mad at me not for something that I did 2 days ago. You're mad at me for a hypothetical scenario that didn't happen 2 days ago.
It could have happened. It's horrifying. You know how you have those, when you have kids at a pool, you're like, oh my God, what if the kid hits his head and drowns? Like, you have all these. It was right up there with that. But anyway, but they didn't end up engaging. And I got out. I had my 7 seconds of terror as I went for my shirt, which was, I almost used telekinesis to will it to me, which I think might have happened. So there you go. It was averted. But check in on me is what I'm saying, okay? Check in on me. You're obviously not spending time changing outfits. Can you spend that time since we're down to one now? Can you please just look in on me? Also, Alice, it defrays the horrific offense of my shirtlessness if you're there in person and you're younger and attractive and you're seen actually loving this. It's a force field against them.
I'm sure I would have come found you when I was done with my shower and stuff.
Okay.
I wouldn't have left you at the pool. I would have assumed you would have accidentally drowned one of the kids or something and come looking. Sure.
Ooh. Actually, as a way to get out of that pool, they probably clear the pool, make them leave. But I couldn't really drown a kid because that would upset you.
Yes.
And I don't think the reason would go over in court. Probably. I don't think, unless I found a really fat judge.
Julie and Phil in the chat are questioning your reasoning for why you were submerged. And they're thinking maybe you were hoping for shrinkage.
Oh, well. Care to opine on that, else? Oh, that is a good point. No, I was wearing a thing. No. It's just yeah. Okay. So, also along another housekeeping news that you've probably heard, Tom Quinlan, who worked with me at the Boston Herald Radio for a bit, is now trying out to be Kurt Minahan's producer, has come out. He is gay.
I heard that last night.
Unveiled this as part of a pitch to bring show content. It was really, obviously he had the plan already set, but it was a good plan, and it was multi-level. It expanded, so it scaled up nicely with the excitement of the show. I had no idea. I would not have thought it.
A lot of you are very successful businessmen and women. If you were at a fancy restaurant in Washington 5-6 years ago at an important business meeting, and a gay or lesbian waiter came up, or transgender, spoke with a lisp or demonstrated they were gay or lesbian, and someone at that luncheon table made fun of that person, no one would have said anything. Not a joke. I want you to literally think about this. Today, if that same thing happened, the other 4 or 5 people at the table say, "You horse's tail, get out of here." Really?
Well, there were a few horses' tails who did call in and unearth the F word, that F word, but it was a great show today.
These 2 men, well-dressed, leaned up and hugged one another and kissed one another. I'm getting out of the car at the light, and I turned to my dad. My dad looked at me and said, "Joey, it's simple. They love each other."
Well, there you go. All right, so Alice, I've got my housekeeping out of the way.
Okay.
Where do you want to start? I mean, I'm telling you. Go ahead.
I was gonna say I wanted to start with climate change because I happened upon a new climate change concept. I mean, we know that this stuff changes all the time. The stuff that's good and you're supposed to do, and the stuff that's bad and you're not supposed to do. You know, like one day you're not supposed to use paper bags because they hurt the trees. But then you're not supposed to use plastic bags. You are supposed to use paper bags because the plastic bags make carbon or what, you know what I mean? Like we're always on to the next thing that you're supposed to do. Like it's always changing what the green thing to do is. And
yes, and it doesn't come on in an email blast. It comes with a lecture usually that you've run afoul of the new rules.
Things have already gone awry. So, and like we see this stuff like in some of these things that like the geniuses want to do to solve climate change too. Like Bill Gates wanted to do this stuff to put the chalk dust in the atmosphere to block out the sun to cool things off for a while or whatever. You know, so they come up with these wacky plans because they think they know best, but like what they want to do to fix climate change like changes all the time, so you can't keep up with it. Anyway, yeah, Tommy in New Hampshire points out that paper straws are out. It turns out they have those PFAS chemicals in them, which I have mixed feelings on because everything freaking has those in them because it's everywhere, because it's in all our groundwater and it's now contaminated everything. So it's basically impossible to limit exposure to those, but they are really bad chemicals. But yeah, they're in your paper straw that's dissolving into your drink that you're drinking. So that seems like, you know, an especially egregious way to consume PFAs. But they're in everything that's like coated paper. So it's the same stuff that's in like your nonstick pans, but like a really big source of them is microwave popcorn bags. Because it's like that coating that's on it that makes paper grease resistant. So like whatever they're putting,
like paper plates.
Right. So I don't know about that, but anytime, especially for like hot drink, that's why like hot drink paper cups aren't recyclable too, is because they're coated with stuff. But yeah, like anytime there's like greasy food that's like in a cardboard thing, like in the paper's like not real paper, it's like got a coating on it. A lot of times that has those chemicals in it. But also like you know, your nonstick pans all have it in them and all those things. So those are, and they last in groundwater forever and never go away. And they're
nonstick pans are worth the end of the world.
Okay, good. Yeah.
Although my brother claims that stainless steel pans will adopt. He claims that they become nonstick pans, doesn't he?
Well, I mean, his favorite is the
the skillet, but he claims that
stainless steel. The cast iron. He says that stainless steel also will I forget what it's called, like cure over time. That you know, basically like when you cook on oil onto a pan and over time it gets that like brown coating. That's like that's what you're doing to a cast iron skillet. That you're polymerizing the oil. Is that what it's called?
I don't know.
I forgot. Anyway, but yeah, microwave popcorn's also really good. Although I do the homemade popcorn when I
know. I see the pans after that. That is never to happen in this house again.
Okay. Well, anyway, long story short, the paper straws have those, but this was a new one on me. There's a company that Bill Gates has invested in. Where to save the environment, they cut down trees and bury them. And apparently this is because, so planting trees is supposed to be good because trees soak up carbon from the atmosphere, right?
Right.
And store carbon. They're a carbon sink. But basically then if you take that tree and you like burn it or let it rot, what it's doing in the process of burning or rotting is releasing all the carbon that it was storing back into the atmosphere. Like it's net zero, right? like there's a carbon cycle like there's a water cycle. It's all the same carbon. It's just going into the sky, going into the trees, going back into the sky. Like we're breathing it out. This is what it is. You have the same amount over time. It just cycles through different parts of the earth. So their idea is now to prevent the trees from rotting or being burned. They'll let them absorb the carbon.
Burial.
And then, of course, they have to dig stuff out of the earth with heavy machinery that uses
that needs a burial too, then.
And take the earth out first and then bury them again. So they're like looking for
God, it sounds
quarries
talk
too.
about finding a way to burn billions of dollars.
I know. So Bill Gates is investing in this but yeah, now planting trees bad because ultimately it's not going to impact carbon unless you put them away where they can't be
in
found.
caskets made of styrofoam.
Apparently. So much for like nuclear waste being bad. Now we need to bury the trees. Of course, if you bury the trees, don't they then turn into fossil fuels? I could be wrong about this, but that's like my understanding of that's where fossil fuels come from. Isn't that like plant matter that's been in the earth for a really long time?
I don't know any of this crap. I don't know. I don't know. I just want people. I want these people who are the same people who now are running back to masking to leave me the F alone. That's it.
So they're like looking for places to bury trees, like unused quarries and different places. Like
what's going to happen after you bury the trees? It's going to be the extraction of the trees from the ground. We found a new study. Indeed, this is not good. So we're going to have to exhume all of these trees.
Well, right, and it's like ultimately, I tend to be of the belief, and like Tucker did talked about this a little when he was in Hungary, and in his Russell Brand interview, he talked about it like that he loves trees and like how much time he spends like getting the trees worked on in his property to make sure to preserve all the trees. Like he loves trees. So like I tend to be of the belief that it's fine for conservatives to love the environment, like Teddy Roosevelt loved the environment, and Tucker Carlson clearly does too. Like, I love nature. I think it's great. But, like, when you get a little too clever and nuanced and veer too far from, like, the Lorax, have the trees around talking point, like, because you're smarter and you know better. No, actually, the trees are actually doing harm to the environment. We have to bury them in the ground. Now we've reached a point where we're getting silly. Now we're actually sacrificing the environment and the nice trees in order to serve some like greater good of the planet. Trees are good.
Right. Yeah, I mean, well, some of these that I deal with, like, what's that one? The ones that suck those bastards over there?
The bittersweet or the sumac?
Sumac,
the sumac grows like crazy. It's like a weed.
Yeah, it's like a weed. Some of them I hate, but the other ones I'm for. But crap trees.
Well, you better start burying them.
I'm going to be burying. I have certainly hewn some this year.
Because if you burn them,
I'm gonna rock more of them too.
You better get out your shovel. Start digging.
That's right. So the only thing I have to say to climate activists is this: I implore you to blockade roads on Indian land.
I know.
That's what I implore you to do, because I was made so happy by this.
And you saw who they were blocking, right?
Burning Man.
Yeah.
These aren't your ordinary anti-capitalist climate crusaders. Extinction Rebellion, the radical environmentalists who tried to blockade traffic to Counterculture Festival Burning Man on Sunday, only to be rammed aside by tribal police, are funded by some of the... Where are you going? Sorry. Are
funded by some of the...
Yeah, the page just loaded and everything moved. Funded by some of the biggest names in Hollywood, along with an heir to the Getty fortune and outdoor retailer Patagonia. Group calls itself all that matters is that the cops, these Native American tribal cops, weren't having it. Now, unfortunately, this is riddled with F-bombs.
Man, get off the highway. This is a state route. Everybody will be arrested, if not. 30 seconds. Send your leader to my vehicle. Let's talk. Get off the fucking road.
By the way, you hear that siren? That is another tribal officer in a pickup truck approaching from the breakdown lane at a rapid speed. They're talking to the cops in the middle of the road. They're still blockading. There's another truck incoming. He's accelerating. He's really moving. He crashes with a barricade. By the way, you laughing at this is absolutely sexy, Alice. I'm sorry.
I'm sorry, Howard.
Take all of you out. You better move.
Take all of you out.
How are the intersectional points supposed to work here?
Get out now! Get out!
He gets out of the truck.
Ground! All of you on the ground now!
He starts rounding up, arresting them.
Get on the ground!
We're not violent.
Oh.
Give me your last name and date of
So
birth.
who's threatening to get the gun?
Date of birth.
Oh, we're not violent. They're all crying. They're on the ground.
weapons at all.
Officer, will you tell me where you're
We're environmental protesters. Please,
trespassing on tribal lands?
please,
Stop resisting! Stop
please,
resisting!
please.
She's not resisting. Doesn't matter. He's cuffing her.
What the fuck? Our friend is getting fucking hurt!
That guy up there says, "What the F?" He's like keeping, "What the F? What the F? What the F?" He's like part of their embedded enviro media or something, or a lawyer. Oh, it's so beautiful. This is fantastic. If you clog the road out of protests, all is fair, as far as I'm concerned. Especially, I mean, this is, people need to get places. All is fair.
I mean, to be totally fair, you don't really care if the people make it to Burning Man on time either.
So Burning Man, I've got split feelings on Burning Man because women get naked in Burning Man, and that's a good thing. Unfortunately, men do too, and that's not good. Men naked is not good. Guys, don't be out around naked just because the women are. It's not good. You don't look good. Think about, I have respect for the world when I'm in the pool, okay? I'm willing to turn into Gollum there over the next 1,000 years if I have to. You shouldn't be doing that. Men should never be doing that. But there's so many videos out now showing people saying, we gotta go to work, we gotta go to bleeping work. And I love it when they're tossing these people around. I'm not on. We're environmental protesters. I'm doing something really good.
I like that she's saying that to the tribal police too, like that you don't understand. We're on your side, like the Native Americans. Like they just want to get places like other people do too. By the way, like it's not all silly, like save the planet, green stuff. Like so, I'm all for it. If the tribal police are gonna start to run quote environmental protesters off the road, I mean,
Shame.
what is a good liberal to do?
It's a tough one because well, you know what?
What?
Do you know what the liberals are going to want to do? What did they do last time that the tribes were a pain?
Trail of Tears?
Move them. Progressives always go back to what works for them.
Mm-hmm.
Move them along.
Yeah, so, definitely enjoyable. And,
Yes,
that needs to happen. There was also some videos of stuff happening with them in D.C. They were blocking
Yes.
roads in D.C. this
Which is
week
excellent,
also.
too.
Which, by the way, you're blocking people a lot less privileged than you. And
Yeah, the ones
white
I saw were
environmental
two black guys saying,
protesters.
I gotta get to effing work. I gotta effing work. But
Yeah.
some, white kid from Bowdoin wants to feel important, so the
You
black
don't
dude has to.
understand how important this is. Now, we told you to plant trees. Now we cut down trees and we bury them.
We're very serious people. Just hitting a couple of the videos here. Peter Ducey on the Secret Service paying $16,000 a month for
The
Hunter.
Secret Service is paying $16,000 a month now to stage near Hunter Biden in Malibu. Who's paying for that?
That's a question for the Secret Service.
Okay, Hunter Biden is reportedly selling art to pay for his $15,800 a month rent in Malibu. How can you guarantee that people are not going to be buying this art to gain favor with the president?
That is a question for Hunter Biden and his representatives.
It's a
I
question
know.
of
I hear.
ethics at the White House. We know
I
that
hear
one of the
your
art
question.
buyers
Now,
got
but just for the record, Hunter Biden was a resident of this White House this summer.
Right. So, fair question.
He is somebody who has been alongside his father in his father's professional capacity as vice president, who's been doing business. These are questions that you should answer.
a job from the Biden administration, can you guarantee that there is
I
no
hear
quid pro
your
quo?
question. I'm not going to get involved in this. That is a question for Hunter Biden's representatives.
But we know that from a Hunter Biden associate now that he sold the appearance of access to then Vice President Biden. Are you confident that he has stopped doing that?
That is a question for Hunter Biden. and
If
his
somebody is
representatives.
selling the appearance of access
like
to the
a
White House,
yes
that's a
would be a
question for the
good
White
answer.
House.
No, that is your I don't know how you're perceiving that.
Sworn testimony by Devin Archer. He said.
I am just not, Peter. I'm just not going to get into this. I'm just not.
So, this testimony, since the last time that I was in here, Devin Archer talks about how he and Hunter Biden tried to profit off the Biden brand. What is the Biden brand?
I'm not going to get into it from here. I'm not going to get into it from here. We're going to move on.
Here we go. It's as good
You
as
would think, by the way, that the like freedom of the press people that all cried during Trump and Jim Acosta wrote books about how mean whoever was to him in the White House press briefing room. And how everybody made him cry in there. That they would be upset by the fact that the press secretary just refuses to answer questions
yes, absolutely.
about corruption that people are actually worried about, and that more and more evidence keeps emerging about.
Yes, this keeps getting closer to Joe Biden. This is Joe Biden today at a photo op, essentially. It's a spray in the White House. He addressed Jacksonville massacre, killing.
And as I've said to the country, we can't let hate prevail, and it's on the rise. It's not diminishing. Silence, I believe, as we've all said many times, silence is complicity. We're not going to remain silent. And so we have to act against this hate-fueled violence, and you saw what's happening. By the way, almost 5 years to the day that 5 young blacks were killed in Jacksonville 5 years earlier at a gun shop, a store they were doing kids' toys. But you know, and we have to speak out that there's a whole group of extreme people trying to erase history.
So, which brings us to, obviously he's a cynical POS, and he doesn't have a caring molecule in his body. Brings us to the AP NORC poll. Biden is widely seen as too old for office. Poll finds Trump has problems of his own. Americans actually agree on something in this time of raw discord. Joe Biden is too old to be an effective president in a second term. Only a few years his junior Donald Trump raises strikingly less concern about his age. But
That's because he doesn't shuffle and talk like
yes,
he's had a stroke.
Exactly. A new poll from the AP finds much of the public oddly united in sizing up the one
So
trait
odd.
Biden cannot change. The president has taken to raising the age issue himself with wisecracks as if trying to relax his audiences about his 80 trips around the sun. Age discrimination may be banned in the workplace, but the president's employers, the people, aren't shy about their bias. Ooh, look at the AP with this writing. Jesus, their bias.
This is the hard news source, AP.
In the poll, 77% said Biden is too old to be effective for 4 more years. That is freaking crazy. Not only do 89% of Republicans say that, so do 69% of Democrats. That view is held across age groups, not just by young people. The older Democrats
Hi, what's going on, Cyril?
specifically are more supportive of his 2024 bid. So that's what we have. That is horrifically bad news for Biden. They're saying the Democrats are saying he can't run a second term. So So at this point, somebody's got.
Well, the DNC is not having a primary, so their choice is going to be that or Trump.
The DNC, Gavin Newsom should say we can do this one or two ways.
The DNC is not holding a primary. They're not doing debates. They're not having a primary. They're not doing it.
Well, okay.
I mean,
So they want there to be a President Trump.
So, and I forget who we talked to about this, but you know, I have been thinking about this, and I think, you know, we had read it some places as well, but probably what they want to do is, because they have superdelegates, remember, too, who are all selected by the party, and these are going to be all at the convention in the summer, next year in the summer, and what they can do is they can drag Biden through the whole primary process, not pretend that he's okay, not hold any debates, not pretend like there's not a primary going on. And then once they get to the convention, he can say, sorry, I'm not up to running again. And the delegates then, I believe, are free to vote for who they want, including the superdelegates who are all picked by the party. So then they can pick someone at the convention.
Public is oddly united.
Oddly united.
Can you imagine? Alice, I think we should get to the chat. There's 150,000 messages. Or is there something you want to bring up?
Let's do the chat because we have the Patreon show as well. So I can bring stuff up in the Patreon show. Go ahead.
Do you want to address your son first?
Chelsea
what can I help you with?
Well, I was going to...
Silence, so I can still pick you up. You want me to kill your mic for a second?
Okay.
Okay. Your mic is killed. You are... No, my mic is killed. Now your mic is killed. This is brought to you by Chelsea Fire Wicked Hot Sauce. It is the official hot sauce of the Tom Shattuck's Burn Barrel podcast, which Boston Herald is Tom Shattuck's Burn Barrel. It's not the Burn Barrel podcast with no link. It's actually Tom Shattuck's Burn Barrel. Feel free to use the whole title or give some attribution in the future if you'd like to, or else I will just keep getting my news from Turtle Boy because he's the last conservative outlet in the state. Okay, are you ready, Albie?
Ready.
Sorry. Here we go.
Isn't it crazy that Dana Bash used to be married to John King?
Not really.
I mean, two absolute drips.
Yeah.
I can only imagine what they conversed about.
Well, especially because he's from Dorchester, but, like, he's not from Dorchester. He's not from Dante. He's not from Mike, who we were hanging out with yesterday. Like, Mike's from Dorchester. John King is a dandy. He is not that. There's Dorchester, and then there's Dorchester. Mm-hmm. Yeah, he's a fake Dorchesterian, I will say, Alice. He's from the Winchester, Dorchester. I'm from the Dorchester, Winchester. Called a turn of phrase.
Very clever.
Kills you that I'm so talented at this and you're not. Okay. BBP.
Burn Barrel Podcast.
Ore Sep. Ore? Pore Sep?
What?
BBPORAYCEP. Pore Sep? /ME/Hate Has a Place 314.
Just wanted to respond to the
Tim.
clip you played of the sheriff in Jacksonville when he stated, hate has no place. Well, he ain't speaking for me because you know what? Hate has a place.
Uh-oh.
It's okay to hate pedophiles,
Yes.
rapists, murderers of the innocent, communists, and Rush fans. Oh, God, they're the worst. It's okay to hate a Rush fan.
I hear you, Tim. I think that there's a lot yeah, the Rush fan definitely. Although they're kind of independent thinkers. Although Canadian, a lot of them are Canadians, but a lot of libertarians I think are Rush fans. But people who know way too much about Geddy Lee make me nervous. There's no doubt about that. I'd like to wonder what Tim has to say about the Quinlan thing. Okay, let's see. Anonymous.
Okay, guys, it's an Italian pet peeve, but it's not called ricotta.
Oh,
it's
no.
Ricotta.
No, it's not. It's for you. You can say ricotta. I am not from La Garda. I am not. I am from New England, and by way of England, and we don't have ricotta. I'm not doing that. You should be mad at me for cultural appropriation. My brother actually sometimes tries to say bruschetta for bruschetta. No. If you're a wasp, just say things just like our food. bland and plain. No flourishes. It should be just. It should fall stalely off the tongue.
In general, I'm with you. In English, we say Paris. We say Munich.
Yes.
Not Paris and München. And
yes.
You know, like I tend to think you pronounce stuff in English like you want to pronounce it. Like it.
Yes.
You know,
Now, I have no problem with Italian Americans wanting to pronounce things a certain way, but I should not be doing that. That's appropriation. And I think it's probably even a good sign that Italian Americans want to pronounce things correctly in the Italian, because it shows they have affection for that item. And I have affection for that item too. But I should not be doing it. It's bad news. And pretentious people from Lexington, Massachusetts, like Alice, should not be pronouncing.
Yeah, then we sound like Barack Obama saying Latino.
Yes, but there's rich girl foreign language that I remember when I took French for 4 years at Winchester High School, that all the little rich girls, they would overpronounce. Say the word for leaves in French, Alice.
Feuilles. Les feuilles.
Right. Okay. Can I take the train to the beach? Say that. Or I would like to take the train to the beach. How about that?
I don't know. I mean,
say a sentence.
What do you mean?
Say a sentence.
Why? I'm not gonna.
Yes.
You're gonna. No.
Yes.
I don't want to.
Say. Where is the beach?
Où est la plage?
There you go. There you go. Over enunciated because she wants to sound like a French person.
Well, but I'm speaking French.
Où est la plage? No, sound like an American speaking French. Don't sound like a Lexington girl trying to sound like a French person speaking French.
No,
although
but in English,
it is kind of hot at the same time.
Gota, gota.
No.
Thank you. Bye.
Will not do. I will not cultural appropriate my Tuscan friends. Is it Tuscan friends?
If they're from Tuscany.
Okay, I don't know nothing. All you can eat podcast. Let's see. BBP.
Okay.
Thief, THEIF, content .343.
Okay.
No show last night.
Oh, yeah.
A 30-minute show today.
No, it wasn't. Today wasn't 30 minutes. Was it? No.
No, maybe if you're not counting the chat, it was. No, it wasn't, because it was already
Today,
like 39 minutes
today
before
was
we
like,
did the chat.
was a longer show, as a matter of fact.
Mm-hmm.
Let me see. Hold on. I can see. I think I have it pulled up here. Pod episodes. Let's see. Burn Barrel Podcast. We gotta redo our website. Ugh. Alice, you have a lot on your plate.
I know. I just don't have
It's
time.
48 minutes today.
Yeah.
Yeah. Hey, Hold on. Okay, let's see. Here's the rest of his litany.
My only question is, why the hell am I stealing all this content that people are paying for if there is no content to be stolen? Anyway, welcome back.
Thank you, Tim.
Thank you.
Thank you. By the way, is there a... Oh, yeah. I already have a job. I'm sure that Kirk would love me to be his producer.
No.
But I already have a job. But what would I have to do now to Quinlan? Because he's come out on the show. You know, the only move would be to come out as a pedophile. That's the only thing that could, because being a furry is not good enough. That's just a half notch up. Come out as a pedophile on that show, and that is... Now, I'm not a pedophile.
I don't think Kirk wants you coming out as a pedophile.
I'm coming out as a pedophile on the show. I'm doing it.
I don't think so.
The decision has been made.
Okay.
Isn't it funny, Tom, how the KMS producer search kind of revolves around you in some ways? I mean, Cullinane didn't have that audio of you and Steve, and he basically got whacked.
Yeah.
Then all of a sudden, Montante's on there, and he's been on your show a few times and mentioned you on the air.
Mm-hmm.
Now Tommy Quinlan says he knows you, and you're also in that Vegas line thing to be a producer, even though your odds are low. So as much as Kirk wants to avoid you, Tom, I think you're going to play a big role in whoever gets this job.
Thank you. You see that?
You're a kingmaker.
That's right. That Montante gig last week, Alice. A paying gig, mind you.
Mm-hmm.
It's a nice chunk of money, too.
Very nice.
What should we spend it on?
I don't know.
What was the mode of transfer?
Zelle.
Oh. I don't have Zelle.
I know.
So do you have Zelle?
I did. I gave the info to Montage.
Oh. Are we $100 richer?
Not yet.
Oh. Interesting. All right. Let's go. Burn Barrel. BB.
Mm-hmm.
Paul in the car.
Okay.
Again. Oh, that's again. Paul in the car again. / Vivek the Snake.
Hey, guys. Paul, not in the car again. Real quickly, on the Vivek thing.
Yes.
He's likable, sure. And I think both of you, forgive me if I'm wrong here.
Yeah.
I think both of you are kind of on the Vivek train a little bit.
Intrigued.
I just think he says too much of the right thing.
I agree.
I've read some.
I'm a Ron DeSantis person. I like Vivek though, but I'm glad he's there and saying this stuff, but I don't trust him really.
Paul, I love the way, Paul, that you put that as well. Is that I was thinking about that today while walking in the morning. Is some of these answers are too good.
Yeah, I
They're
also
too
didn't
good,
trust Trump though. So
too good as in a boardroom full of people got together.
Mm-hmm.
And said, "Let's have the greatest, most and because
that's why people call him Vivek GPT is because they're like he's just reading all the conservative talking points on Twitter and spitting them back out.
Well, but he's a good spitter back outer. That's his talent.
Yeah.
But I do wonder. Everything he says is pretty damn near perfect.
And then the other response people have had to that I've liked is, well, if it's so easy to do that, then why doesn't your candidate do it?
Right. Yeah, but my only concern would be this: is that I don't know if there's any actual spine or core principles behind it. I just don't know him enough to know if there are, and I don't know if if he's been tested what kind of resolve he has. Right. Because guys who come out of boardrooms generally don't have strong spines. I mean, to be hit with fire from the media world. Mm-hmm. But we'll see. I mean, I'm intrigued. I thought what he did with Dana Bash was a hugely important interview. I mean, just to expose the media. And he is almost, because of his intersectional points, because of his story, there's almost no antibodies the media has against him.
And I've read some things about him. Who the hell knows if it's accurate on Twitter about his Soros funding ties and.
So I've heard that, but that it was college money that he got or something.
He's gotten a WEF fellowship, which is like but I mean, it is what it is.
And I also am in.
Lots of people get lots of fellowships.
His red pilling could have come later. I'm sure it did.
Some of the things he said during the pandemic that I just wonder if even half of it is true. If this guy's just full of hot air and is repeating the one-liners that get attention. And just be curious. I mean, Alice, you've commented you like him. Tom, I think you've been relatively silent aside from your love for Pence, but beyond that, I'd be curious to get more of your takes. Thanks, guys.
People don't forget. So yeah, that was more of our take right there. I'm watching him. He could just be up to something. Then again, if he's up to something, just kind of like Trump was last time, I mean in 2016, if he's up to something that's got incredibly beneficial byproducts, then, well, who cares? Mm-hmm. I don't care if he's secretly taking the mask off every night.
A lot of people think he's a Trump plant, too. That's like all the non-Trump people think he's like there to be a Trump surrogate, basically.
Well, he seems to be that regardless of whether Trump actually planted him there. He is there, and he might have self-planted. Mike, Market Basket. Oh, wait, is that all you can eat for Market Basket?
I guess that's more all you can eat, yeah.
Let's listen to it a little bit.
Hey, Tom and Alice.
Hey,
this
Mike.
is Mike out here in Central Mass.
Hey, Mike.
I'm originally a North Shore guy, but
nice.
I live out here now. I've been finally getting caught up on All You Can Eat podcast.
Oh, okay. So I'll stay on this. Mike, I'm going to save the rest of this one for the All You Can Eat podcast. I have starred this one, Alice.
Okay, excellent.
We'll be recording tomorrow morning. So
yeah, so new All You Can Eat podcast.
So we'll have that for you tomorrow, Mike. And thank you for mentioning the podcast. Paul's got an all you can eat podcast. Let's go. Oh, Moonbat from Merrimack.
Okay.
Hi, Steve from Merrimack.
Hey, Steve.
Listening to the sound cuts of Dana Bash and Vivek going at it reminded me of the fact that I have to go to a wedding this fall. One of my dear family members is a producer for a big star at a major news network.
Ooh.
And this person will be marrying a White House correspondent.
Oh.
Not on-camera correspondent, but a White House correspondent for another major network.
Mm-hmm.
And the expected guest list. Let me
Oh.
throw a couple of names at you.
Excellent.
This is great.
Dana Bash.
Oh, fantastic.
Yay. John King.
Uh-oh.
Yay.
Tension.
Jake bleeping Tapper.
Fantastic.
Yahoo! And the creme de la creme, one of the most egregious.
Okay, Ellis. In the name of God, please tell me it's Don Lemon, but it's probably going to be Anderson Cooper. What do you think?
These seem like mostly CNN people.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's got to be Anderson.
I was even thinking maybe Andrew Cuomo.
He's not. He hates everybody there.
He does?
Okay.
Yeah.
It's got to be Anderson, but I want it to be Don Lemon.
Horrible moonbats on television. Martha Raddatz.
Oh,
okay?
ABC, yeah.
I'm going to be interacting with these people, and I'll probably be, after a few of my family members get their Irish up after a couple of cocktails, I'll probably have to separate them from Jake and from Martha. It's going to be fun.
Going to be a very honest wedding.
Thank you.
Steve, this is important, Alice. We've got an embed, a spy for this wedding. This is important, Steve. We have to think about how to best utilize this. Thoughts, Alice?
I'll leave that to you. That's your job.
Okay. Here's our last one. Paul, and not in the car. Hope he got his Eggo. Oh, is that our kid yesterday?
Who was yelling for the Eggo this morning.
Was that this morning? Oh, my goodness.
That was this morning. When I was wearing this shirt.
You were wearing this shirt last night.
I was not.
Hey, guys. Paul, not in the car.
Hey, Paul.
The problem episode you just recorded, whichever little guy of yours that was screaming bloody murder in the background.
That's this guy right here.
Yeah,
right?
the one who's right next to me.
Cyril
yes.
Shattuck.
He's going through a phase where he screams first and asks questions later, generally speaking.
He's found it works for him. Cyril, did you get your Eggo waffles this morning? He shook his head. No. Really? Sally didn't cook them for you? Are you sure? I bought them. She didn't make any?
Oh, there were definitely Eggo waffles that got made because I found an empty wrapper in the freezer.
He shook his head and said no. So we've got,
somebody made
perjury,
Eggo waffles.
Or we've got a perjury here.
Three things, actually. One, I hope he's still alive. Two,
he is.
I hope he got his Eggo for sure, if he is still alive. And thirdly, tell him I can relate. The entire time I was listening to that episode in the car, I too was mimicking him, screaming at the windshield in the car. Just can't believe this Vivek versus Dana. I mean, just the media's lost their mind. We've known that for a long time.
Yes.
But, I mean, you just can't wrap your head around the point and their desire to pursue nothing. It's wild.
Yep.
So tell the little guy I can certainly commiserate. Thanks.
Hey, Cyril, somebody called just on the chat and said it's Paul, and he said he likes Eggo waffles too. Okay? Cyril, what do you think about that? Alice, I'm trying to interview him for this podcast. Can you stop helping him with your phone?
He's looking up different Halloween costumes he might want to be for Halloween.
All right, Paul. That's
He's
no comment.
He's hoping to be an ear of corn.
That's a Karine Jean-Pierre. I'll direct you to speak to the Eggo Waffle Company rather than speak to Cyril Shattuck.
So anyway, thank you all for listening and for the chat messages. Of course, if you are on Patreon or on the patrons only RSS
or stealing
feed,
it like Tim,
or stealing it or whatever you do to get it, just stay there because we are going to do a little bit more show. I have some more topics that I want to get to, and you can find that at patreon.com/burnbarrel if you're interested. Of course, always free, burnbarrelpodcast.com.
C'est la vie.